Hello and welcome back to the Fireside Writing Advice streams. I am your host, Raymond McNeil, and joining me, as always, is the immortal Mollie Rhinemaster. Mollie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. It's my birthday in 2 days, and I got my first job offer ever, so it has been a good weekend so far.
Excellent, excellent. And today we're covering your favorite topic.
Rhymes!
Which,
As someone who's certifiably read a few poems and is certifiably pretty good at rhyming, this is exciting to me, to say the least.
Let's see. And yes, it should be up on screen in just a minute. I need to actually get the... I didn't do this properly. Ooh, where it is. Yes. Done. There we go. Oh, Emerald Greens just messaged me. All right, I just wanted to make note, guys, please send your submissions in before the show starts. It's kind of annoying having to rearrange things on the fly.
Yeah, it's all right. They send things in, right?
Well, I mean, part of it is that, like,
first.
I have to click away into my private messages, which is recording your face cam. So suddenly my private messages gets put up on screen. Not sure if you get this a lot, but your accent sounds more American than English. It's Irish! Scotch-Irish!
It's in his name. Also,
How dare you call me English, you bastard!
All right, let's take it down from a 10 to a 6. Let's just take it down a little. So, poetry. Poetry is fun because there are no rules of poetry, technically, if you want to talk free verse. A lot of people the few people that sent in submissions, I saw people in the Discord talking about it like, oh, I'm trying to do it in this verse or that verse. And that is where the real difficulty comes in, because I think it's very easy to just write whatever, but and just throw some flowery words in there. But to actually write stuff in meter, that's hard, especially if you're like writing songs and you have to make it sound good sung. That's a lot of meter writing. If you want a good example of what happens when your meter writing gets messed up in the middle of a song, Fire Emblem Fates, Lost in Thoughts All Alone, has some issues with that. And that's like a real song that somebody made, but it was translated. That song was written in like dactylic meter or something really obscure.
Embrace the dark.
Yeah.
You call a home. It's in a cute little.
Yes. Or like half of the songs in Volume 3. Other great examples. It's My Turn, a good one. I'll never forget it for rhyming foolish with your wish.
Yes. So we actually did a fun music stream a while back, which I would recommend you go watch on my secondary channel, but right now my secondary channel is in a bit of a predicament because it got hit for copyright. Claim. Yeah, it got copyright claimed because we decided to read the books of Ruby on air and critique them as we went, which, was fun. New chat from Crossover 4 saying, Marathon the last season of Infinity Train last night. Great stuff. Screw CN for canceling this show. That's the world of children's entertainment. Good stuff gets canceled all the time. Crap gets put on, like the 3 frickin' SpongeBob spin-offs, or 2 at this rate. There's 2 spin-offs. There's like the camp one, and then there's something else. I think Patrick Star Show. That's right.
Yeah. 3 SpongeBob spin-offs, but Versus had to get canceled a season early, so it had to like absolutely just kill itself in the middle of its own runtime. Fuck the 3rd season of that show, by the way. Anyway, I know it wasn't their fault.
Wait, you said Steven
it was
Universe?
Bad for
which show?
Star Versus.
Star Versus. Okay, I was thinking like Steven Universe. I thought got all the time it wanted. Like,
No, and that was Steven Universe getting all the time it wanted was a problem in and of itself, but a different problem.
Remember how they got 40 episodes in and they still hadn't made any progress on the plot? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, that's when the show was good. Anyway, let's move to Moopas.
Yes.
You want to take Moopas?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll take Moopas. Okay. For the record, I am terrible at poetry, so I don't know if that changes how I read it, but just forewarning.
Read it in me. Her first one seems to be it's a haiku.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Short and sweet.
The rag wipes gray sand. Castles made of hope and love. Automaton dreams.
That's not. I know it's just a haiku, but like that's nice. It has a visual to it, which I appreciate. Even in the short words, you actually did put an image in my head, which is what a haiku should do.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you who don't know, haikus, they're 575. Is that right, meter wise?
Yep.
All right. So basically, let's deconstruct this a little bit because it's a good example of a haiku. Haikus are 5 beats, then 7 beats, then 5 beats, and it's basically about like the syllables of each thing. So the rag wipes gray sand. That's 5 beats. Castles made of hope. What is it? Is it and love? Yes. Castles is 2 beats. This is why I'm terrible at poetry. I can't beat worth of crap. Automaton dreams. So you have 5, 7,
so
5.
It's a functional haiku. And then next she did a sonnet, which sonnets are difficult because those are in very strict meter, and I'll take the sonnet.
Well, I wanted to kind of keep addressing the haiku about the idea of imagery. Haikus originally they're Japanese, I believe, and they are all about the visual. I think like the art is all about experiencing a feeling through visual, like the idea of like capturing. If you ever look upon a vista, like if you ever like come over a hill and seen like a wide mountainscape, or you've stepped out and looked at the ocean, that feeling, that deep integral feeling that you get from just seeing that is the kind of thing you want to capture in a haiku. And that's the thing that I really love about haikus, is that it can give you that kind of wistful, kind of magical feeling about just seeing something that goes even further beyond just visual description. It's a very beautiful art form.
Yeah. All right.
You're just excited to get to the
sonnet.
I
agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I want to get to the sonnet because that seems to be the meat of this. She did a haiku, a sonnet, a shape poem, and a mirror poem. I actually don't know that much about mirror poems, so. The flutter of her skirt distracts the eye, her waist enfolded by an apron tight. A small request, a duster shared, a sigh, and yet the favor is a great delight. The friendship we began, unsafe affair, a bet impetuous to ignite the realm. Embarking as clandestine maids beware, the game of cleaning till dust's expelled continues on day in and out until quest's end does rest at our weary feet. A duster gifted, her soft touch a thrill. Bereft and foolish, I check my conceits. She promised to another ever fair. Still I shall treasure all the time we share. So that's written in a very strict meter. That was very, very impressive. I really like this. Like this is very much what like an old Shakespearean sonnet was structured like. It had a lot of kind of interesting sentence structure, a lot of kind of. I don't like this in lyrics, but I like this in like old style poems. Is kind of rearranging how sentences are so you can get that rhyme. It's very old fashioned.
To kind of give it, like, sonnets are sort of like that, like beyond just like the simple rhyming couplet. A sonnet is like the go-to example for what a poem is. It's sort of like it's
classic
the most
Shakespearean,
super classic. Yeah, Shakespeare wrote 170 something sonnets.
I don't know exactly.
He wrote a lot of sonnets, and a lot of people use that as examples that he was gay. And in reality, it would like some of his most famous stuff was about him mourning his dead son. So if anyone ever tells you that Shakespeare was gay, tell them to recontextualize some of the writings as a dead son, and You'll get some interesting
Mupa
results.
Mupa says this is way too on the nose. I know it is. I know it's on the nose, but that's how sonnets usually were. Like they're just kind of storytelling. Like the ones I've read, like the Shakespearean sonnets I've read, like yes, they are poems and they are poetic, but they're not like filled to the brim with like, you know, with like esoteric imagery and symbolism. So you should feel proud of this. I know you worked hard on it. I know you all worked hard on your submissions this week.
I mean, she was doing this right up until I think 2 days ago. Because we were in voice chat in the Sketchy Huntsman, and she was like, she was cleaning up her prose for things. And I just remember, like I don't know, I thought it was just kind of fun to hear that. It's like, oh, you're doing it for the stream. I completely forgot you submitted, just because, like, I'm so focused on what we do in the Sketchy Huntsman. It's like, it's kind of two different worlds, it feels like. And it's kind of a cool crossover.
All right, here's the shape poem. It is shaped. I was combing Rhyme Zone for days. Dude, I live on Rhyme Zone. Don't feel bad about that.
Vlad. Can I read this?
Vlad.
I will read it in Russian, in somewhat Russian accent.
I don't know if she wants that.
Oh.
It is a shaped poem, and for those of you who can't see it, it's shaped like a diamond or a circle of some sort.
Steam billows out. Clanking machines sing their copper serenades, devouring coal, shoveling like a cog. I wipe the sweat from my brow. Ceaseless motion, all around. Yet not for my tireless work, the beast would turn on the others.
This is another, like, very short and sweet poem. Like I really appreciate the effort you put into this, because I remember, like, our songwriting stream, you were really struggling with this, like, simple couplets, and this is just like, wow, this is so much growth. You know, of course, obviously you spent a lot more time on these, but...
Yeah. And, yeah... So what is the shape supposed to be, Mupa, ultimately? Like, because it is obviously cut up, but I think it's definitely, like, clearly a diamond or a circle or something. Oh.
Yeah, this is the type of poem that's more like very fancy prose just cut up, which sometimes bothers me, but here I don't really mind it.
Sindman,
if that's how you write poetry, it's how you write poetry.
Sindman just donated $3 saying, hope everything goes well with the new Sketchy Huntsman. Would have loved to apply myself, but I cannot draw or play music if my life depends on it. And you've got other great editors. Still hope they all help in fixing Volume 5. I'm gonna need it, definitely.
We need all the help we could get.
But yeah, actually, this is a good point to remind people that, one, new video just released yesterday if you didn't see it, and please spread it around. It has been doing dismally in the algorithm. But my fixing of Wonder Woman 1984, which I thought was a really fun and interesting project to do, I'm actually kind of really proud of how I fixed that movie up. 2, Sketchy Huntsman auditions still going on. Video is not super far behind this one in my videos. You'll be able to find it. It's
artists, music composers, music producers.
Yeah, particularly composers and producers for Mollie's sake. We're trying to get some surprises in for you guys.
The surprise is music.
Yeah, lots of mechanical.
Also, Mupa says it's a diamond representative of a piece of coal. What is this about, Mupa? I'm curious. Is it about your own story, or is it about Nier Automata, like I just always assume it is when robots come into play? I
mean, like,
fancy prose, but in meter tends to be the general trend in epic poetry, at least in the translations I've heard, if they don't go full prose. Yeah, no, epic poetry is just huge chunks of meter. When I was a college freshman, I was in a storytelling class, and we had to write a 1,200-word story, and I wrote mine entirely in poetry. It wasn't in a very strong meter, but I was proud of myself nonetheless. It wasn't very good looking back, but, you know, I did my best. They're all OCs. Yeah, they're all OCs. Okay.
It's a little better than what I accidentally did in my novella class. Oh, write a 70-page novella. Great. I missed the part where it said double-spaced.
Oh, no.
So I wrote, like, almost a full novel-length story. I didn't realize that, like, I was basically doubling my amount of work.
All right, they're all OCs of mine in a story project with the idea of each poem describing their perspective/days in their lives. Basic gist of the story is Nutcracker-inspired reverse harem. That's very interesting. All right, Percival and Peregrine. Rumpled cotton sheets abandoned, warm pastries with chilled fruits. Shall we take a walk on the decks? See the snow blistering past as it's churned beneath metal teeth. Claws that dig and scrape across tundras. A golden bauble I only share with him, placed high in the tree, termites gnaw at the base. Even so, my constant companion. Our friends are waiting us, here on the boughs. Boughs? The darkest shadows are for them, not for me nor you, yet. They cast the brightest lights. We continue our dance in their glow. We continue our dance in their glow. They cast the brightest lights, not for me nor you, yet. The darkest shadows are for them, here on the boughs. Here are friends awaiting us. Even so, my constant companion. Termites gnaw at the base, placed high in the tree. A golden bauble I only share with him. Claws that dig and scrape across tundras as it's churned beneath metal teeth. See the snow blistering past. Shall we take a walk on the decks? Warm pastries with chilled fruits, rumpled cotton sheets abandoned. Man, I love mirror poems. Like I almost never see them, but they're so cool.
They are really cool. Like, it always reminds me of remember the game Braid?
No.
You don't? Okay. So Braid was an interesting little platform with time travel mechanics in it. Like, you could reverse time and that such. The very last level, you're running through this entire obstacle course as, like, the main female love interest is running on top, you're below, and you're chasing after, trying to save her from this evil knight that's like carrying her. And then you get to the end, and then time reverses, and it plays in reverse, and it reveals that you're actually the guy chasing her, and the knight is the one rescuing her from you.
Huh.
Which is actually really brilliant. And, like, all the things that had been, like, obstacles in your path had actually been things that she had placed there for you. Which I thought was...
Oh, that's cool.
It's great game design.
But yeah, Mupa, great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you very much for submitting. Let's move on to Williams. Frontier to go.
William Whimser.
William Whimser.
We just call you Whimsical now. Whimsical. William.
Whimsical.
Okay, so here we go. There stands a place which I have seen, a place both real and of my dreams, familiar and bright under the glowing day, where beneath the truth hiding lays. Time marches on, lumbering ceaseless slow, but arrives all the same, didn't you know? Always goes the day...
Hold on. Don't... Here's like a pet peeve of mine. When you put word fillers like verbal ticks as the rhyme, that's like... It's not a no-no, but it's a personal thing I really don't like. But we can keep going.
Okay. Away goes the day in its glittering light, and there comes at last the fall of night. Gone is the bustle, away is the life, leaving a place where shadows are rife, vast and empty, not a soul to be found, revealing instead a world most profound. Hear now the rush, the crack, the shriek, sounds of texture both strange and unique. From whence do they come, near or far? Not for you to know, nor even what they are. Feel the chill of cold dark air, both crawling bite and kiss most fair. A thing most odd, its shivering brush, lingering long with a ghostly touch. Excuse me. And see, my friends, all that remains, a world familiar but hardly the same, ruled by shadow and illusion alike, bowing before that great vast night. See shape, a shade, dancing in the margin, ever keeping away, never to sharpen. Mysteries eternal, no resolution made, beauty only glimpsed, as nothing they fade. Know
as to others. Nothing they fade. Yeah.
Oh, to nothing they fade. Know those others that wander in the dark, pilgrims of twilight, but their passage marked. Not a word passes between you, not whisper nor cry, just a solemn, silent nod as you walk on by. All now to see and feel and hear. Know it, embrace it, do not fear. Mark all there is, and mark it well, for come the dawn, you must bid farewell.
No, you just rhymed well and well.
Yeah. But heed
not I'm sorry, dude, you just rhymed well and well.
And do not despair. For with you I have done one last secret. I have one last secret to share. All shall come again, that strange wondrous sight, tomorrow and forever, that deep and faithful night.
Okay, this was pretty good. I think that there are parts where you definitely you kind of went like this. There are some stanzas here that are stronger than others, like feel the chill of the cold dark air to like, you know, to like 6 lines before that. You took the choice to make slant rhymes, which in something with really strict prose comes off a little weird. Usually, if I'm writing a song, that's totally fine. If you're writing like a strictly metered poem, it does come off a little bit because those are usually associated with very strict rhyme schemes. And you kind of start to do the same thing Mupa did, that kind of old-fashioned sentence structure reversals. But again, it has this sort of modern, not modern is the right word, but like a contemporary feeling to it that kind of makes it off.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I mean, this is the reason I have an issue with rhyme. It's like you have a mixture of voice in your head. Did I mention I suck at poetry? Yeah, no. Again, this is fine if you're stuck at poetry. And the thing is, this is solid for someone who sucks at poetry. I almost said politics. That was weird.
Yeah, it really is.
But
it comes easy to none of us. That's a good way to say it.
So like, this is what I do basically. This is about on par with what I do when I come to poetry. Although probably maybe even better. Better in places, worse than others. But like overall, the idea of like I end up mixing my prose because I don't know how to speak in olden speak in reality, but and so like I always end up making it sound more modern than I intend and trying to get that old timey feel. I mean, Mollie's actually read one of my stories where I had really aimed for like an old timey, oh yes sir, good old boy type personality, which I'll be releasing at some point, hopefully soon. It's very hard to stay consistent because you're just
consistency is big. It's like I said about Ruby songs. You know how like some songs, like Yang songs, have this problem a lot. It'll be very like boastful and casual, and I'm a cool guy, and then it'll get like really poetic for some reason. That consistent narrator tone is really important in poetry and lyrics. Basically, I mean, anything with a narrative, but people forget about it in poetry.
And then you have caffeine.
Honestly, if more of the lyrics were like caffeine, it probably would be a better soundtrack. At least by my extremely strict standards, no fun allowed.
Poetry is a bunch of beating around the bush IMO. Well, yeah, I mean, when you boil down, like 80% of all poetry is people trying to ask each other to get laid and trying to do it tactfully.
All right. Alpha Omega Beta Sin. Shoot, did my internet just die? No, it's okay.
Did you hear what I said about? Because I addressed him. Mollie, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. There it is.
There we go. All right.
Yes, Alpha Omega Beta Sin. Yes, very short and sweet. Roses are red, violets are blue. Writing poetry is the worst. # restore the Snyderverse.
That's okay. So for a campaign that I was running, it was a Chicago set Resident Evil campaign. It was so basically characters were finding like documents scattered around the place. And one of them I wrote down because they were exploring a college dorm because I thought that was fun. And I had like little references to all of our friends. One of them was just one of my friend who was a philosophy major. And I had him writing a poem. They find it and it's just, roses are red, violets are blue, I can't fucking sleep. And that was just the entire poem. I do love things that like, roses are red, violets are blue, and it goes completely off the wall after that.
And our good friend has sent us some fun stuff about some regulars in the tree. That's very cute of them.
Wait, what?
I have paste pens open.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were reading that out loud. Like I thought that was in someone else's poem. I didn't realize that Alpha Mega.
No.
Oh wow. Okay, I am so sorry. I didn't realize we had moved on.
Yeah, there wasn't much to say about AOBS's poem. It was funny. You got a laugh out of me, so success.
Remember, comedy poems are a thing, guys.
Comedy poems are a thing, and they can be very funny.
I mean, if you ever want one of the greatest poetic comedies of all time, Hardware Store by Weird Al. It is...
Weird Al Yankovic is generally one of the best lyricists alive, and I fully believe that.
I mean, okay, I'm just going to pull up the lyrics to Hardware Store and just show you the one section. Hardware Store lyrics. All right, let me see if I can get these in. Okay, here we go. I think I can copy and paste this into someone else's. Yeah, I'll just copy and paste it here so we can all see it. All right. They've got Allen wrenches, gerbil feeders, toilet seats, electric heaters, trash compactors, juice extractors, shower rods and water meters, walkie-talkies, copper wires, safety goggles, radial tires, BB pellets, rubber mallets, fans and dehumidifiers, picture hangers, paper cutters, waffle irons, window shutters, paint removers, window louvers, mask tapes, and plastic gutters, kitchen faucets, folding tables, weather stripping, jumper cables, hooks and tackle, gout and spackle, power fogger, spoons and ladles, pesticides and for fumigation, high performance lubrication, metal roofing, waterproofing, multi-purpose insulation, air compressor, basket.
All right.
You get the point. The man is insane. The man is insane. And
like there are very few people that have the control of the English language that Weird Al does. That's just a fact.
Okay, let's see if I can get.
And there's a Fairly Odd Parents. It does feel similar, doesn't it?
Okay, there we go. All right, we have a submission from Pasteben. Oh, here we go. Hi, Raymond. Sorry for missing last week, and thus your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, man. Real world stuff got in the way, and if I'm not in chat today, the same thing happened. I just want to preface this by saying I'm not much of a poet. None of us are. But I figure being challenged is the point of the prompt, so I tried to have fun with it. I know limericks are probably in the same circle as hell as puns, but that and overtly... I love limericks.
So do I. Limericks don't get enough love.
Yeah. But that overtly pretentious haikus are all I know. I suggest running through limericks, the limerick once in your head to develop a rhythm, and that way I look less inept at maintaining proper syllable count and word flow. I hope everyone enjoys a bit of caricature and nobody feels like they're being made fun of.
Aww.
I love that, like, your first one is a haiku, and that was her first one.
Yeah, the first one's about Moopa.
Moopa, this guy's got you pegged. So do we want to trade off on this?
Yeah.
You want to go first or you want to go second?
I'll go first. Moopa. Style unexpected. Moopa. Experimental. This is a haiku.
Remember, if you ever run out of what to say with a haiku, it is snowing on Mount Fuji. Or wait, what was it? It snows on Mount Fuji. Is that right? There's some like shortcut to ending a haiku. Where you just...
I wish I remembered the joke.
Mollie, introduced with a towering hat, deftly plain and sharp or in flat, living in praise, protected by tiny Weiss.
In paradise.
In paradise, protected by tiny Weiss, sending frogs for girlfriend in chat.
She's not in chat right now, but she is listening to this, and I'm sure she appreciated that. All right. AK. Haiku, oath, and limerick. Teleports behind. Heh. Nothing personnel, kid. Unsheaths katana. This is my oath, my sacred pledge, with the subtlety of a sledge. Perched with the menace upon a ledge, cower in fear, I am the edge. The darkest night falls around my soul. The demon within loses control. Stop, anime AK. The prompt for today was about baking a sweet bread roll. Anime AK, I just want to say, we love you. And we love your submissions.
Raymond, Limerick and oath. Oh
Don't
God.
feel offended by this.
I will fight for the ginger genocide. No more can this dude abide. I can't catch my breath. RT marked me for death. I've gotta catch you on the flip side. In darkest dungeon, highest tower, open court or secret bower, the purest love grants me power. My crest, my cause, this white flower. Oh, that's cute.
Those were awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, that was great. Great work, Ben. I loved it. Also,
I love a good comedy poem.
I realize we're gonna be coming up on like we're on our last one, and we're only 30 minutes into the stream.
We have. I know we're gonna have to. I was thinking we could like read other poems that people send in, like other people's published poems, or we could talk more about music. Either one of the two.
Either or.
So, Anime AK,
Well,
I know.
no,
listen, we
yet.
appreciate you, and we appreciate your submissions.
We're
not done?
We're not done because Emerald Greens sent in one last minute. Remember, right there.
Oh right, yeah. Let's see that.
Yeah, we'll get to you, Anime AK. Trust me. So this is from Emerald Greens, and I'll read this out since you want to take the lead on the next one. The chasm groans with light's unnatural hue. From it, the sword, alight with reckless flame. Forth burned to life, a creature sinful grew. A blasted gloom, the eyes that shone with shame. And thrashed and flailed against restrictive chains, that buckled yet remained about the brink. And curses chilled that her destruction reigns, from howling bout that sword, a pen to ink. As calm as winter morn, withdrawn from heat, thereon the fire dimmed as she recoiled. A question asked, it need to be complete. Of what this domain remains unspoiled. The sword aloft, by hand engulfed in doom, rewrites the cosmos in a single.
Oh, that's cool. That's very old fashioned to like.
I don't know how to
give
format
us
this.
Like cut it off the last word.
And it's about Ruby's.
Well, not old fashioned, but I've seen it classically. Yeah, this is about Ruby's relic of destruction. Okay. What does the relic of destruction do again? Kill anything? Is that the kill anything bomb?
I think so. Unless they use it on Salem, which apparently probably won't work. Pint? Did someone spell pint? What is pint? P-I-H-N-T. Well, you're the rhyme person. Any interesting anecdotes about this particular one? Because it seemed very strong to me.
It was very strong. I actually really liked this. I really liked a pen to ink. Like that was a cool line. Yeah.
Is that what I said?
As the rhyme person. Yeah, I mean, this is like a good, strong, short poem. Like, especially that ending where it just suddenly cuts off. That's really cool. I mean, again, that's like something I've seen before in actual, like, professional poetry. So that's really cool to see someone try to do something experimental on, like, a more kind of set in stone thing, like strong meter poem. I like reading through it again. Hold on. Recoiled and unspoiled was a cool rhyme. I actually appreciated that.
That is a good rhyme.
Yeah, that's an unusual rhyme. I love seeing people kind of come up with new rhymes. You know, like, man, I hadn't thought about that one.
I mean, this is just like not my favorite type of formatting, just because like the idea of 1-2-1-2 it doesn't seem right to my brain. I don't know why. I guess I should just read it as 1-1-1-1. Never. Molly's mic is a bit loud. It fluctuates.
Sorry. It's just a USB mic that I plug in.
Yeah. So, should we move on to the heavier thing, or should we wait for the very end to cover that?
We can move on to the heavier thing. I just want to say, like, preface again, Anime we love when you submit, but you cannot plagiarize, and then half of a song, and then send it in as a new poem.
Yeah. So to give clarification here, he was upfront that his inspiration was the "All Lift Together" song from the advertisements for whatchamacallit? Warframe. Which, that song is awesome. So as as inspiration goes, it's not a bad one. He was trying to do a Chain Gang song effectively for Faunus. Or not Chain Gang song, a plantation song. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't think there's a single good word for them, but yeah.
Yeah. So like it's not a bad place to start for inspiration. Problem is, like, if we can, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics to it. All lift together lyrics. All right, so Molly, do you want to read? How about this? You read the first two lines, and I'll read the first two lines of "We All Live Together," back to back.
Okay. My computer's. All right, so the first two lines of the anime AK's thing.
Yeah, and I'll read the.
Yeah. Cold the air and dust where mining, which by the way is not like a sentence. Harsh this land we call our home.
Cold the air and water flowing, hard the land we call our home.
Push to keep the grim from coming, feel the weight from our race has owed.
Push to keep the dark from coming, feel the weight of what we owe.
You get the idea. So Zaber Potterson says, I sent in a poem too. Who did you send it to?
Yeah, did you send it to me on like Twitter or? Is it my Twitter? Did you? I don't know where you sent it, Zaber. Well, at least we can keep on addressing this. So plagiarism. What is plagiarism? It's when you take someone else's work and offer it as your own. I mean, there is a point where you can say, "Oh, I was inspired by this," and it's very clear you were inspired by this, but it's a distinct, different thing. Like,
there's a lot of songs I've written that were inspired by Ruby, and maybe even certain songs in Ruby, but they're different songs. The first song I wrote, that I really considered part of like my journey as a writer, was a rewrite of Mirror Mirror. It uses some of the same elements, but it is in itself a wholly different song. So it's not really considered plagiarism because you can't, unless you want to say that the term Mirror Mirror on the wall is copyrighted, which Disney very well might. So, but you get the point. It's a different song.
Yeah, like another good example, my own book, Forged Within Flame. I make no illusions about it. I'm very influenced by Madoka Magica. It was, Poncho.
Oh, Poncho said it.
Poncho, you. Where did you send it? But like, I was very inspired by Madoka Magica, and so there's a lot of mirror there when it comes down to, yeah, Poncho. I'm not seeing where you sent it. Was it on Discord? Is this you? Ping me, Poncho, if you sent it. See, I wear my influence on my sleeve, but at the same time, it's not the same story from the heart. Like, the things that I change dramatically, like, it goes from being like about magical girls and all this to being an in-depth character study about the girls growing up and having interconnected relationships and all these different stories that surround them. Like, I wear that on my sleeve, but it's not it's not capturing the same idea. It's not capturing the same ideas in the same way. This is basically just being like, okay, that thing from Warframe, but now Ruby. That's all I'm seeing here.
Like, some of the words are changed, yes. If you wanted to do like a full parody, like it's the same song, like the same tune, but with like different lyrics, that would have been fine. That would have been funny. But like, oh, he sent it on Twitter, by the way.
I did not. I did not link that. Let me get that for you. Or did I link it? I feel like maybe I just didn't pin it. Let me see. I feel like if I search for this.
Oh,
yep,
no,
okay,
you
that's
did
happened.
send us the 1,500 worder.
It was not pinned. That is my bad. I have a terrible habit of not pinning certain things. Okay, so let's get this out here. But yes, so yeah, Anime AK, this is, you should look into what plagiarism constitutes. It's a very hard to describe field, but you know it when you see it, and this is plagiarism. And
yeah,
Anime is art. You sent one on Twitter.
Anime.
It's fine. Except
1,500. This used to be a 1,500 word poem. Now it's only 1,300, which means that Poncho has beaten my record for poem length. So good work.
Anime is art. I am not seeing any messages on Twitter from you. Or are you talking about this post you sent me? Oh, it's just like a general poem? Like, what is this Anime as art? Yeah, I'm glad you caught the stream too. I feel bad about that. I feel like that keeps happening every stream. I got to be more on top of these things. So I think this is Adam Ogabi. I think that's Anime as art sent me this.
Yeah, I think so.
But we can do Poncho's first.
Yeah, okay. Just because of ordering.
Okay. This used to be a 15,000 word poem, so trying to cut it down was a thing. Also, good luck.
1,500.
Volume 5 doesn't hurt you more than Volume 2. It's going to hurt me more than Volume 2, although there's a lot of crazy fun stuff that I'm looking forward to.
Usually I'd criticize Poncho for sending in something that's way over the limit, but we have so much time, it's actually okay. So buckle in, everyone.
Yeah. So, do you want to start? Should I start?
Hold on. Shout outs to Decoys. That's Pace Ben. Drive by, thumbs up. He'll check the VOD later. Hope you like the limericks, and bye now. We love them.
Yeah, we love them.
You have a good one.
They're great. Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right. Excuse me, dear heart, my mind inquires. Pray tell you have a moment. There seems to be a matter which requires our immediate atonement. Of course, dear mind, my heart replies, your query's a mere formality. For you I bear but the truth, there lies my mere opinion on my sleeve. Formality and sleeve, I'm iffy on. Anyway.
Also, I think there lies is one word.
Is it? I actually don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll check that.
Forgive me for being so upstart, but it seems to be you we have neglected. I feel your ache in my heart of hearts, and came to see it fully corrected. In my mind of minds, I'd have never thought you so astute, yet so kind. Forgive me, but I seem to be wrought in my suspicion, my dear mind. Your words wound me, sir, I hope you jest, lest your words run through me. Surely you can confide in me, an old friend, or lest your words run me through. Surely you can confide in me, an old friend you once knew. No rhyme nor reason is out of reach, just trust that I won't fail you. It's my duty to aid you as you need, so tell me, friend, what ails you? Oh no. Well, it's a tale as old as time, one that countless souls have told. I ache for a place that's truly mine and leave my mark upon this world. I forget. Is Pancho British?
I don't know.
Because world like if you are dropped, that rhymes in a way. It's very interesting. It's very Emily Dickinson, where it's like, yeah, if you read this in a Boston accent, it rhymes, but otherwise, no.
Also,
I desire all that's
in. I was thinking of therein.
Yeah, therein. I desire all that's in it, such wonders I'll never see. To make my brief stint infinite. You see, that's where the syllable play or syllables come into play, where it's like in it and infinite. Like you say it infinite, not infinite. The emphasis is on that first syllable. Although I appreciate the attempt of in it and infinite, like that's actually a pretty interesting one. Yeah, I might use that another time in a song with a different meter. Make my brief stint infinite, as memorable as can be. I want everything. I crave my time to never end. I wish my fear to wax as it wanes. I hope my mistakes can make amends. I need a fire to burn my soul and its blaze to reach my eyes, to grow a passion evergreen, of which solipsism's its demise. Peter, stop doing that. Then have no fear, my fettered friend, for every man's his trace. What's a mound above the ground than your testament in case? That's a cool line. That is really...
This is great.
Yeah. Yet you seek to glimpse at rotting sights while donning borrowed robes. What's the use of passion burning bright when smothered by earth and droves? It's not for my sake that I fear that I'll be lost to death in time, for if I am not remembered, my existence proved benign. I do not fear destruction nor being ostracized. I am terrified by the notion that...
Not destruction, destitution.
Oh, I do not fear destitution nor being ostracized. I am terrified by the notion that I could have done more had I tried. So the meter was a little off there. Loss cannot impede my anguish, nor prosperity quench my thirst. It's not this world I'm afraid of. I dread not wanting it first. So you wish to slave yourself away to own a world that was never yours, to be used and broken and thrown astray, left to gather dust behind closed doors. Apathy shall be my passion for platitudes I can't abide. Capriciousness shall be my rations, selfishly extol and chide. The world I rule is empty, on that we can agree, but this world serves more than plenty, when its guests are more than me. That's another really good one. I'm loving this.
This is great.
Yes, I yearn to have it all, and to share it with even more. For what are this world's treasures if there's no one to keep them for? My plea for unbound spirit is not for spoils or some riches, but instead on that quest hope to find bonds cauterized bound by stitches. Wounds are not both stitched and cauterized. Why do you get hung up on semantics? No harm in learning, I surmise, between flights of fancy and your antics. Oh, that's awesome.
Did you steal this?
Well, so... This is so good.
I refuse to believe that this good of an author was in our midst and we didn't realize it.
Whilst on the subject of quackery, I feel the need to remind you, all those you tie your hopes to will one day never find you. One day will never find you. Why bind yourself to more ache to the people you'll never know? Just like all else, they burn at the stake, or are those scars only for show? For I know there's an end in sight, I'll embrace it without a fray. May these bonds wrong all rights, at least they'll burn my cares away. In darkness they'll shine brighter than my pain, though it suits me more. Yet they make my burdens lighter, my hardships easier than before. A bitten tongue can in bitter honey, its sweetness born from anguish. In a land with even one kindred soul, I know I'll never languish. Mortality is a journey with end in sight, and yet a voyage no less valid. No matter the trails faced in day or night, hand in hand are joy and malice. You know what, I'll give you that one. You want to take the rest, Raymond?
Sure. Why should one invest in lots so frivolous and unfair? What's the use of living lifelines when rotting beyond repair? Might as well tie from them a noose and climb the hell-bound stairs. Death has for us no use until he meets us there. Death will never cry over eroded monuments of stone. So why on earth should I, until I meet you in this home? At least I have the courtesy and wherewithal to know that upon my grave there will be no tears for me to sow. Before you go tying sailors' knots and kicking dirt over shallow graves, I recall the adage, no man is an island, not even you, I dare say. Then I'll make myself content. I trust that I can manage.
Make myself a continent.
I'll make myself a continent. I trust that I can manage. Surely in all malcontents, an ally would be your vantage. For my ideal partner, I have precise measurements. For only the exactitude one can find true merriment. Then is procedure with every suitor.
That was. Hold on. We have to go through. That was a little bit weaker. Merriment and measurement. You're rhyming meant. Like you're rhyming that meant part. But also there's the syllable before, and surement and rement don't really rhyme.
Yeah. I mean,
Like you say that word like you're doing a really good job, and I just want to make sure that if you want to take your poetry to even the higher level, like measurements, not measurements or measurements, like you have to keep the syllables in check. All right, keep going.
Then is procedure with every suitor that you appraise them whilst waist till nape. If you happen to need assistance, holler. I'll fetch the measuring tape. You consider yourself amusing. I have my moments now and then. Then clearly gesture. I'll do the talking. Go back and frolic in your pen. And yet I wonder what you've offered, what you've to offer beyond this mere charade. ... I see. Only by an empty coffer, when silence is your trade. That's clever. You're keeping the rhyme in verse, but you're actually inserting a line that indicates silence. I like that. It's very smart.
This is better than anything I've ever written. This is facts.
As if your comment had more clout than some mute buffoon half-wit. If I recall on your head was mount, proving us socially befit. Then come forth, insolent youth. Let's see if petulant words prevail. Pray tell what is your churlish truth, to which my unfit demands all pale. It's a humble request which I deem just to match its only fair, to attain beyond the fires of lust and be tempered in true love's care, a passion that need not burn in the guise of 1,000 splendid suns. Just be careful by whom with I can always beat as one. I do not need fair skin aglow, nor a river of silken strands, for 'tis but a husk for show that time whittles with cleft hands. I have no use of jewel divine beyond a longing stare. How pretty would be that flower of mine upon a casket bare. What want to have I for a perfect muse, which fades in right or rain? Why spend life and death upon a ruse, which won't carry me through the pain? I wish to fall for a soul ablaze with a lion's glare. What an ailment it is to pay the toll for the knowledge that she'll be there. In the end, I want a love that transcends beyond the mask. I want forever to never be enough. Alas, that's all I ask. Looking up, my rueful mind and asks through defiant tears, what right have you or I on a soul so good and fair? Looking back, my heart remarks with a knowing smile, we have no such luck, for in their hearts our lodging is but a while. Our pride will be the death of me, as will our nativity. I suppose we'll have to wait and see, and hope beyond all measure. I can take the comfort and knowledge you're with me, and we will face it all together. Hot
wow.
Damn, man! Just take us for a ride, why don't you?
I'm so glad that we found that. That we didn't skip over it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta keep on top of these things. I gotta make sure I pin them in the right places. So let's see.
So what was the inspiration here?
I mean, obviously it's the heart and head arguing back and forth about what they want.
Well,
I love that.
Oh yeah, there's that. But like, remember the prompt was inspired by like a show, so I'm wondering if he was inspired by a story of some sort.
Huh. That's a good question. I am curious now.
Because that was awesome. Like the length, that's really impressive to to structure a whole story like that in verse. And also the fact that I could tell that you were like, I don't know how often you write poems, but to me, I could kind of tell that this is like, okay, I'm looking at Rhyme Zone. I have one word. Here's the next. But you're good enough at writing to actually make that all match up.
Yeah, it flows. I mean, you had 1 or 2 weak points, but like that's not bad. That is
Yeah, considering it's 1,300 words.
Publish this. All right? Like, for all of its flaws, it's great. This is superb stuff here. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of poems. This blew me the fuck away. In fact, I dare say most of the people here, I mean, like, obviously they're the joke poems, but like, the Emerald Greens and Moopa and William, you guys should all publish. I think that'd be great. I would love to see you guys. This is my magnum.
This
opus
is my magnum opus.
We enjoyed it a lot.
Think about, man.
Adam Ogabi did send a quote unquote poem.
A haiku, a short haiku.
Yeah, based on something from Bleach, which is here, I believe.
Yes. My haiku is based on the pick. The king sits atop, a kingdom watches in awe. Who is the servant? All right, not bad.
Beating the armor, kicking out the bones, swirling the flesh and blood, creaking the increases, smashing the heart. He walks alone towards the fairway on the other side. I walk a lonely road, the only road I've ever known. Wait. Yeah, not bad. That's a good little haiku for what the image is.
All right, so that was our last submission, but we usually stream longer than this. So chat, what should we do? Should we talk about Ruby? Should we talk about Ruby music? Should we talk about non-Ruby music, which I can also do to some extent?
Did you ever give your thoughts on Volume 8?
Volume 8, like as a volume?
Because when it wrapped up, like you weren't on that stream, because that stream we skipped because we were both doing different things.
Oh.
And then we didn't talk about it last week, I don't think. Fatman was on stream, but we didn't really talk about it.
No, we did not. What do I think of Volume 8? I think it is possibly the second worst volume because it has the same problem as Volume 5 where thing is happening. Okay, let's just sit around. Let's just sit around.
The thing is, like character-wise, that's not necessarily wrong. I keep trying to go over it in my head, like, the problem is they're tending to their injured friend. What do you expect them to do? To go out and get themselves killed? Well, that's happening.
Well, no, but you don't need 70% of your team tending to one person, or maybe you do. I don't know.
Well, like the thing that gets me about it is, I'm curious. What creative projects are the two of you working on right now? Was obviously fixing Ruby Volume 5. That's the big centerfold right now.
I'm trying to get my compositions back to the way they were when I was like a sophomore in college.
Yeah. Everyone wish Molly luck. She's trying very hard. She's doing her best.
I've put out a couple good songs recently.
You have. I'm just saying, like, good vibes and all that.
Yeah. I'm working on Pokemon fanfiction because I've finally crossed that threshold of boredom.
It's a good one. Marniefic is good.
Marniefic is doing pretty well for itself.
I
mean, does it get hits? No. Does it get kudos? Not really. But I'm proud of it, and that's what matters.
Like I said, you gotta tag it Marnie and Gloria. I'm telling you, you'll start getting the hits. You don't.
I might genuinely do that if it means that. But I don't know how to write romance, so.
I mean, obviously, two people meet, they hate each other, and then they have sex, and that's how that works, right?
And that's how babies are made. Hold on. If I want to go for a conventional style, should I go in strict or free form meter?
Conversational.
You do. or conversational style, should I go for a stricter freeform meter? That really depends. What you did was just conversational, and that was like half and half. It was metered to an extent, but like you were kind of doing whatever you wanted with it. Um,
You need a character in
so
Ruby in the World Tree dimension that talks just like this. Just piss off Team Ruby and John with riddles. I think that'd be fun. Although those are incredibly hard characters to write correctly because they can get real annoying real fast.
yeah. Being proud of work is only half the battle. I know, but I'm glad I got that half out of the way. Guys, certifiably pretty good writer.
What is the fanfic called for everyone?
Phenom. You can search it up on AO3.
Yep, Phenom.
Published by Frog. Yeah, published by Frog Days, which is not spelled with a PH. It's spelled like Frog Days, which is today.
Frog Day.
There is an International Frog Day, I found out. It was actually recently.
Yeah, it was last Saturday, I think.
Yeah, which means that there could theoretically, if the calendar lines up, a Friday Frog Day.
When you're working on a sci-fi thing, Raymond, I was working on. I had a mecha book that I was writing for the longest time. I put that on ice because I needed to rethink a lot of things, especially after getting some feedback from Mollie on a certain character. Do you remember our conversation about the Israeli character and how I was horribly writing him?
Yes.
Yeah, that was that needed some reworking. So that's on ice currently. The big thing that I'm working on right now is my tabletop game, aside from my Vault Finder. Aside from... Didn't mean to say that. That it's the running name for it, but like that's tentative. The official name right now is Project Bolt. Still working on it, getting some copyright checks done on it. But I have a tabletop system that I want to start kickstarting and get published and start to get developed out there, so I can actually pay artists and the like to start like making cool designs for it and the like. But leading up to that, I hope to have, I think, 9. It's either 8 short stories or 9 short stories and 1 novella that'll build up into it. That'll help establish the lore of the world. And I'm about 5 stories in at this rate with it. I'm actually very happy with the progress I've made so far. I need to actually go back and edit a few of them. I need to actually start writing more of them. Rate Godzilla versus King Kong. On the fun meter, 9 out of 10. On the logic meter, 3 out of 10.
But that's how a kaiju movie should be.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous film. Why did you save me, monkey?
Monkey. I've been playing Balloon Tower Defense 6, which means I have been very exposed to monkey.
This poetry makes haikus look bad. Now I feel ashamed. No, your haikus are great. Haikus are great. All right, don't let.
Yeah.
They're very like if I were to give a criticism of your haiku, it wasn't very visual in its nature.
Yeah, you should be reaching for those more symbolic, like esoteric types of language if you're writing a haiku, because you have very few words to work with. The fewer words you have to work with, the more you have to think about those words.
Yeah, it's like the king sits atop. You're describing an action. That's not really... I mean, like, haikus occasionally do that, but it needs to be more... I guess verbs are all right in this. It's more like the visual itself. Like, you're going for details. Like imagine trying to describe the Mona Lisa in only, 17 words? Or less. Like, that's what you're going for with the haiku. You're trying to describe... You know when they say a picture is worth 1,000 words? You're trying to use 1,000 words in 17. At most.
Yeah.
I made a...
By the way, the Tundra just made a superheroes channel, and thank goodness, right-click, mute until I turn it back on.
I am always hurt by that, because, like, I love superhero stuff.
I like superhero stuff, I'm just not that, like, into it, so I, like, don't have anything to say about it.
I see. Yanni says, I made a fanfic for Naruto at one point. I hope to one day go back to it. My cringe levels have to go down though. This is the thing. People shit on fanfic all the time. If you really want to learn how to write, fanfiction is a beautiful place to start.
That's how I'm learning.
Yeah, it's a great place to like cut your teeth because it's not serious. The threat of losing a publishing deal or the threat of like losing readers isn't super intense. It's very low risk and it's very high reward if you're looking to reward yourself in experience. Now, if you're looking,
bro, do you know? Like, think about it. Do you know how many fanfics there are right now that are Deku X? This is the red and white one. What? Somebody help me out here. Todoroki. Deku X Todoroki, but one is trans and one is autistic and one is non-binary, and this is their slow burn 30,000K DJAU. Like, do you know how many fanfics there are like that? Like, you should. The standards are not high, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and you could make a fanfic like that really good or really bad. It's all just kind of like
you can make.
There's no expectations.
You can make edgelord stuff. Like, this is why I'm very very lenient towards anime AK. Doing edgelord stuff is not terrible. It's a good place to learn how not to do edgelord stuff because people will say, "Hey, stop it. You're going too far. There is too much edge. There is not enough, like, this knife is so much edge, there is no handle. You're just holding the blade, and it's not comfortable."
Dude, I love edgy Pokemon fanfics, like, to death. I love it because it's just... There's two types of edgy Pokemon fanfics. There's the one that actually is trying to think about world building, and there's the type where it's just like, hey, this is something cute and cuddly, but what if it was dark and bloody?
Yep. Just
like that's where you hit the difference. They're talking about Ironwood in chat. Man, anger, rage, anger.
Yeah, that's a good question. Was Ironwood supposed to be a villain in the beginning, or did Rooster just make him a last-second villain? I don't think it was last-second, but I think there was.
I don't think it was last-second because in Volume 7, the goal was to make him like a sympathetic villain. The problem is they made him justify it. And then they had to backpedal super, super hard because they looked back at what they did and they were like, oh shit, we made him a good person by accident and he's supposed to be bad army man.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking about superhero stuff, the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, I have not watched that.
Interview Tiny Weiss on Penny not giving her the maiden powers to fight. Tiny Weiss. Here, she's gonna have a chapstick as a microphone. Tiny Weiss, how do you feel about Penny not giving you the maiden powers when you were in a life or death situation and also present in the room right in front of her? Well, I think that was very selfish of Penny, but I think my sister looks really... I think that my sister looks really cool now, and that makes me happy, because I think that she deserves to be the protagonist of this show at this point.
Backpedal on Iron Daddy was the saddest
thing. It's so funny. What other show does this where they have, like, the MacGuffin power, and they just give it to a side character?
It is... I'm still pissed they killed Penny 2 episodes after they gave her a body. What was the point of all that?
Ruby, great news! I can finally do something I've always wanted to! Oh boy, what's that?
Let's see.
Thank you for giving me mortality. I will now use it.
Emerald Greens, I usually write smut, so yeah, smut's great. Keep writing smut. Smut's good.
I mean, volume 3, I think they play with the idea of Ironwood being at least morally gray or morally ambivalent early on, with the other teachers giving him dirty looks for bringing in his army. So it feels like kind of foreshadowed, but the delivery was botched hardcore. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's like
they set it up, but the execution was atrocious. Remember, there's no such thing as a good concept. There's only good execution.
Wait, there's no such thing as a bad concept. There's only good execution.
A bad concept. There's no such thing as a bad concept, but there's only bad execution. Like, that's what I meant. Well, there's also no such thing as a good concept. Concepts are nothing. they are neutral until you execute them. Like yeah, Ironwood being set up as this morally gray villain is a really good concept, but the execution is everything. I think the writers are going to give Neo a redemption arc like Emerald. They absolutely are, because women can't be evil in this show. They either have tragic backstories or they turn to good guys.
Yeah, that's. I'm still convinced that Cinder's going to be the ultimate big bad in the end. Like, she's going to find a way to steal, like, immortality from Salem.
Please just... It's going to be like Volume 13. I'm going to be like, please just kill Winter. Please. I'm begging you. And then Cinder's going to finally do it. And I'm going to be like 27.
You see, we don't know enough about, like, the area they're in. For all I know, she's going to stay on that island at the end. Neo, that is. People are like, oh, she's going to join Ruby or fade out of existence. I don't know. We can't tell. They're in Ohio. Neo. They're in Ohio. We know nothing about Neo. Like, we know
that's the thing. She even got a whole song, and they just refused to elaborate on anything in her backstory aside from the fact that she had a close relationship with Roman for some reason.
Yeah, and like they won't even say what kind of relationship that was. Was it fatherly? Was it like parental? Was it sibling? Was it romantic? We don't know. That's why, like in my Fixing Ruby, I just went for all of them and made it weird because they're antagonists and they're allowed to do that. And now they're protagonists, and it's uncomfortable for everyone.
It's kind of like in Violet Evergarden, where you have that one episode about like the 14-year-old princess who's like supposed to fall in love with like a 25-year-old prince, and the show just treats it like it's completely okay.
Well, I mean that's
and you're like, this show is fucked up enough that I guess that could happen.
What's the time period set?
It is like post-war, like 1940s ish. So you could buy that, but
yeah, I was gonna say like 19. That's where we start edging that out around, I want to say, the 50s, where I think that really.
I know it makes sense period wise, but it was still super weird.
All the colors that exist in the world, and Ruby Gray is not one of them. Funny. I hope season 9 doesn't have Team Ruby at all.
Ironic.
Based on the Beauty and the Beast, what if Ruby Rose is the curse? Huh. We hadn't really considered that. Is she the rose in the story? She is the curse. I guess she is, because think about it. It's technically her team's fault that Vacuo fell. Or not Vacuo, if Atlas fell. Literally, Ironwood said, I'm going to destroy Mantle, and Team Ruby said, not if we do it first. Penny gets the short end of the stick in this series. Yeah, all the above. Godzilla, anime is art. You're an asshole. Bad.
Can I delete comments? I'm a mod. Yeah, I can delete a comment. There we go.
It's still going to show up on the stream, which sucks. He was Neo's daddy and daddy. Yeah, he was Neo's daddy and daddy. Yep, that's about right. A sweet Ruby is the reason everyone is suffering. It's her secret crow-like semblance. Possibly.
That would actually be awesome if they if they kind of like Attack on Titan this and retroactively made every single thing make sense. I would be the most impressed human being in the world.
Like I don't know.
Kind of like they almost did with the apathy. Like the apathy could have been used to justify Volume 5.
Yeah, that would have been really something. I need to know it. I need to know this. How do you send writing or something? Because I don't know. You either send it to me on Twitter, which is unreliable, as you can tell, or directly to me or Molly on Discord. Team Ruby cannot be considered the villains. Yes. Also, you used now twice. Don't use now twice. You don't need to. Favorite superhero or superhero?
I mean, they can be. They can be. Like, favorite superhero? I actually do have a favorite superhero. My favorite superhero is Daredevil because he has really good hearing, and when I was growing up, I had, and I still do, have extremely sensitive hearing, and it caused me a lot of problems when I was young, so it was really cool to see a superhero who used his very sensitive hearing as like a superpower.
Yeah, and my personal favorite is Captain America. Call me kind of basic, but I I like a character that tries to stick by his morals. I mean, I love Daredevil too, because Daredevil always struggles with his morals. Captain America, they're sort of like very similar in that way. Also, the stream is loading. Okay, there we go. Captain America, Daredevil, I love both of them. Cap is my favorite. Daredevil's up there. I like Scarlet Witch. I have not seen WandaVision, so people say that kind of ruins things. I don't know about that. I like Bucky. Weirdly enough, I like Ezra Miller's Flash. I think he's really likable, especially in the Snyder Cut. I think he's actually really... That opening sequence with the Flash is incredible. Where, like, he stops... Someone... I don't know if you've seen the scene from the Snyder Cut where they're setting up his love interest for the future of the series. She crashes into the back of a truck, and it spills hot dogs everywhere. And he's, like, in slow motion, like, going up to the car and catching her and putting her down. But before he does that, he takes a hot dog out of the air and puts it in his pocket. And then later he's...
That's very, like, Sonic the Hedgehog of him.
Because, like, he was interviewing at a dog shelter. He was interviewing, like, for a job at a dog shelter. And so when he zooms back into the dog shelter, the woman wonders where he went. And he's sitting there in the dog pen surrounded by dogs. And he's like... Well, as you can see, I always carry snacks on me because when times of panic, dogs get worried and food helps calm them down. And he's just feeding them the hot dog. And it's like, it's the most wholesome fucking thing. It's great.
That's awesome. I haven't watched the Snyder Cut.
It's good.
Overhaul X Deku. I don't know who Overhaul is, so that doesn't make sense to me.
I need to watch season 4 still.
The fact that Deku is mentioned is cursed.
Yeah. No, if it's not Deku X all the girls harem, then, you know. I'm kidding.
John X harem. Oh, that's something we could do. I could go on AO3 right now.
We should challenge people to write a harem fic.
No!
Yes!
No, I'm going on AO... No! No! I'm about to get a job. Don't let them background check me and find that. Let's see what's going on in Ruby tags right now. Oh man. Oh man. NTR. Oh man. Oh man. That's the first one.
Oh man.
The third one is in Espanol.
That is a really painful thing, is when you're like, oh, like, I can vaguely make out what this story's about from the tags, but it's all in a language I don't speak. God damn it.
I like reading Pokemon X and Y fanfics in French because it's more authentic.
John can get all the girls in his harem, but he will never love himself. John will never get a girl. His girl died. Let him be lonely for the rest of his life.
NTR, abort.
But I don't want a smut. I can't write or listen to yucky, gross, unwholesome Christian stream. Christian and Jewish, Judeo-Christian.
This Judeo-Christian stream. Let's see what else is gold. Man, every time I see Robin Hill in a fanfic, I know it's going to be bad.
Oh God.
Now, here's the thing. It's not that it's poorly written. It's that the story isn't good. Like, here's my thing that I kind of realized recently. I would so much rather be an okay prose writer with a decent original story than a really good prose writer who can't write an original story for shit.
Yeah.
Why is every Robin Hill fanfic I see about polyamory?
Yeah. Also, can I just say, like, I have been very positive on the OT3 of Ruby Weiss Penny. Why is it that every single fic that is Penny Weiss Ruby either garbage, which, I mean, a lot of them are just straight up garbage, or Clover X Crow, and also garbage? Why is there no just straight up, like, good, wholesome, like, why Why, writers? Why do you deprive me of this wholesome dynamic?
No wholesome, only garbage. That's what I learned from watching K-On! For 10 episodes.
I'm just waiting for the salt when John X Blake X Yang becomes canon. That would be nightmarish.
Nightmares, love. It's all nightmares.
Oh, Anime's Art says, my perspective is Penny didn't need to be human like Pinocchio. You know, the fan art of Hacked Penny being killed, and it should have been Ruby. I like the idea of Penny becoming human. I think you could explore a lot of cool things with that. Like,
I think it'd be really cool to watch her experience, like, pain and hunger.
Like, here's the thing. What I really hate about Penny is that literally along the way you can track, oh, this would be an interesting idea. Oh, this would be an interesting idea. Oh, this would be and every single time that happened, the writers just, yeah, but like, what if we didn't?
Oh, here's one. It says that after a terrible accident, Weiss is left nearly blind in one eye, and her MMA career is brought to an abrupt stop. First of all, Weiss is not at all built like an MMA fighter, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's a fanfic. In an attempt to pay her medical debts and escape her hounding father, she decides to swallow her pride and take up wrestling. That is more dangerous. If you are almost blind in one eye, you should not be wrestling. You need depth perception.
Like, wait, is that
I love how Ruby fanfics are rarely about Ruby. It's just the Ruby characters in some hyper specific scenario. Like, former MMA fighter Weiss turns into a wrestler, and also she's demisexual for some reason, because we have to put that in because it's so special that she'll only get with somebody that she knows well, because it's so different. Anyway, this one says Spider-Man AU. Like, I'm just going down a list. Alternate universe barbershop. Like, they will do literally anything to not write about Ruby.
Wow. One of our next fic prompts should be something like humanity or exploring sensations through non-human lens. But also a harem fic.
No!
That's the only dumb thing that only fantasy can do. Technically, Pyrrha killed Penny twice. Yeah, I know, that's great. But yeah, like I said, Penny's most annoying thing is literally, oh, we brought Penny back. Should we explore...
Sorry, you see, Molly, she lost some brain cells along with that eye. Considering MMA, she probably did lose a lot of brain cells.
Iron Wolf, but the emotional connection is Ruby, not John. What? What's Iron Wolf?
That's rude, Molly. Depth perception doesn't stop plankton.
Reverse harem from the perspective of a queen bee.
No. What? You people are wiling out.
Animorphs,
you are currently out of pocket.
Go!
I need the stream to all return to in pocket, okay? This is the pocket. I need you to get in the pocket.
I mean, I think at some point we should just do a how to write smut stream and see what happens. I think that would be hilarious.
No, please. I don't want that attached to my name.
Okay, all right, I can do that alone then. That would be. You must describe the curvature.
Can we even do that, or would we get demonetized?
That's a good question.
I mean, I've seen a lot worse things read on stream.
Yeah.
A harem, but the main character is Data.
Oh, he's replying to Iron Wolf. Okay, sorry, I was like, is Iron Wolf a ship name? I don't know.
Alternate universe with werewolves, Vampire Blake and Werewolf Yang. This one has the FBI in it.
A harem, but the main character is Data. All right, you sort of get that. Like, one of my favorite shows at current, and I'm really, I think I got a second season. I think it did. Is My Next Life as a Villainess, where it's a reverse harem. You know, so the girls gain a whole harem built around her. Although it also has girls in it, so it's like it has all the things. But the best part is that she's like, it's not that she's like unlucky in love, is that she has like this inferiority complex about being unlovable because she thinks that she's the villain when she has changed things so drastically that she's the most lovable person on the planet. It's a great story. I love it.
Belladonna is a small-time artist in the indie rock scene.
Just search indie rock in the Ruby in the Ruby tag. See what you can find.
Search was in results. Indie rock.
What would you call it?
Only one. So I'm just going to write rock.
Hey, what would you call a ship name for Crow, Ironwood, and Clover? Ferrous Fair? No. You would call it shit.
I can't believe there's only 175 works found in Ruby that have rock in them.
Oh, Christ. Macarena for the win. Yes. Read the manga. Both mangas. Both mangas are good. I love them both.
Let's see. Musician has very little music. Music has 466 works. But that's not many considering that there's how many works in Ruby? 26,800.
What about historically accurate harem where it's just the woman's quarters of a
No,
palace?
enough with the harems.
Oh, I like this is the creativity you get out of this group, and that's what I love about it. It's like they're thinking of just like what it's like to be a sister wife, for example, that sort of thing. Is Ruby rock fanfics where everyone becomes geodes?
I wish.
What's a geode? I mean, I know what a geode is.
I think he's just making a joke. So it's just Ruby, but they are all rocks. Stormlight Archive crossover. Don't do that to Stormlight Archive.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up for the night. Oh, thank you all so much for watching. Remember that for $1 or more to my Patreon, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server, where I, Molly, Fatman Felling, and Dashy Lee are regularly active, and Molly will especially yell at you for being annoying, because she does that a lot. But don't worry, you can yell at her. She won't mind. Probably.
I don't mind. Wait, we do need to come up with a prompt, though.
Oh, that's right. We do need to come up with a prompt. So the idea of inhuman...
We actually do need to come up with a prompt.
Well, I like the idea of inhuman. What should we do with the inhuman type deal?
We can do something like write about a non-human creature. But, like, write about a non-human creature in a human setting. So, like a goblin at the office. You know, like that's an example. It's a non-human creature in a very banal humor.
Office Goblin. I love Office Goblin.
Office Goblin.
I have this image in my head, and like he's not like an annoying one. He's just like very emotive. Like, aww.
Yeah, he's just like a dude. Like I love that. I want to see a non-human with all that comes with being a non-human in a regular human setting, trying to fit in.
I was gonna leave my casual convo in the YouTube comments, but it was way late and never finished. That happens, unfortunately. And now, here's the thing. Next week is our writing day where we write for you guys, and our prompt was a battle of wits. Now, what should the topic of that be? It's a battle of wits. What prompt should we have for it?
Beyond just being a battle of wits, because we don't know where to start.
Yeah, like we need a place to start for it. Do Inhumans like Black Bolt count?
What's Black Bolt?
Oh, like you're talking about Inhumans as in the series Inhumans. Funny, clever. No, I don't read the Inhumans. I would not get the references. Haram John, my weapon is my pants. Ruby, I love weapons I can see. So an introvert. Introverts are still human.
Come on, guys.
2 scholars determining the fastest route to defeat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft.
No, I don't know Minecraft well enough.
But
I'm sorry.
There's an idea, like 2 pro gamers, like, arguing over the best strategies.
The only game I know to like a pro level is Pokemon.
Pride and Prejudice tier battle of wits where there's romantic tension. I feel like that would be like we could like Taming of the Shrew type stuff. I'm not looking forward to writing this because I have no idea where to start. It feels like we're gonna do a lot of characterization on the fly.
Yeah.
You don't know Black Bolt? Wow, uncultured. Sorry, man.
I am uncultured.
Yeah. What if Team Ruby was put in the Horizon world? Never watched Horizon. Non-humanoid characters. Yes, non-human characters. Humanoid is optional. Like, if you want to write a Monster Musume,
manners of
a Lamia or a Centaur, go right ahead.
But I feel like you're cheating if you're going to do like, oh, it's just a cat girl. Like, either go full cat girl and make it so she thinks like a cat and is stuck with talking with regular humans,
the important
or just do
is either the thought process that they have or the physical body they have makes it very difficult to actually blend into society. Two pro gamers talking in the most sophisticated and pretentious way possible.
Oh man, I go to school with so many comp sci majors, I can do that for you.
Okay.
Battle of wits between Weiss and Blake. Are we talking like season 1 Weiss and Blake?
Weiss and Blake, but they're pro gamers.
Weiss and...
How's that for a prompt?
Sure, that fits the weird AU as well. We'll call it monochrome, wrap it up in a nice box, and ship it off to AO3.
And pins.
Anime argument.
All right. Well, there's our.
It's like I could argue about anime.
Yeah. Well, there's our stream. Thank you all so much for joining us. Remember all that patron stuff. Remember to check out the Wonder Woman video. Please share that around as much as you can. I would love to get some traction going on it. And artists and the like, please spread the audition video far and wide. Let people know the auditions are open. We would love to see as much fresh meat as possible. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll catch